This is the moment we stop doubting and start doing. The future belongs to those who believe.
Go all in, burn the boats, cut the safety net, give it everything you've got, or don't even try. That's what we're told. But what if I told you going all in is the reason that most people fail? Not because they're lazy, not because they lack talent, but because they removed their margin for error. And when there's no margin for error, every mistake feels fatal. The all or nothing mindset sounds quite powerful. It sounds disciplined, it sounds brave, but when you break it down, it actually creates extreme pressure. And extreme pressure doesn't create clarity, it creates desperation. In this video, I'm going to show you why going all in can actually sabotage your goals, the hidden psychological trap behind going all in, and what actually works long term apart from going all in. Because success isn't about intensity, it's about sustainability. The biggest problem with going all in, point one, extreme pressure destroys intelligent decision making. The biggest problem of going all in isn't effort. Effort is necessary. The problem is the pressure that comes with removing every form of safety net. When you eliminate your margin for error, you fundamentally change the way your brain actually operates. You stop thinking long term and you actually start thinking short term. Your decisions are no longer guided by what will make the best outcome in the future. They actually start being guided by what will reduce the most pressure in the present moment. This is because your nervous system switches into survival mode. When survival mode activates, your brain prioritizes certainty over results. It prioritizes safety over experimentation. You stop taking calculated risks and you actually start taking emotional risks. Risks that are driven by fear, urgency, and desperation. Here's an example for you guys. When someone quits their job with zero savings in the bank account to go start their business, they may believe they've created a source of motivation, which may be right. They have created motivation, but what they've actually created is psychological instability. Every day that passes without instant success creates internal pressure. That pressure clouds your judgment. Instead of building systems, learning new skills, or learning from feedback, they start chasing quicker wins just to relieve their sense of anxiety. This leads to fragile progress. Progress that isn't built on competence, but on urgency. And urgency isn't sustainable over a long period of time. Long-term success isn't built by forcing yourself into survival mode. It's built on creating a safe environment where you can think clearly, act intentionally. Pressure can initiate action, but stability is what guarantees it over a long period of time. Point two, gradual commitment builds confidence, competence, and leverage. What most people actually misunderstand is that confidence isn't created by forcing yourself into an all-in scenario. Confidence is actually created by accumulating so much undeniable proof of you are who you say you are that other people can't prove to you otherwise. That's confidence. Every time you show up and execute a small action correctly, exactly how you said you would, your brain builds proof. It gathers evidence that you are actually capable. This evidence compounds and it strengthens your identity. It makes future action easier, not harder. Gradual, slow commitment over a long period of time allows you to increase competence without increasing risk. It allows you to make mistakes and learn when the consequences are small. It allows you to refine your strategy without destroying your stability. This is really important, and I want you to understand this. Competence comes before confidence, not the other way around. You have to be competent in something before you become confident in it. When someone starts a side hustle while maintaining stability in every other area of their life, they give themselves time to learn, make mistakes, learn again, and build competence in that side hustle. What they're doing is they're allowing their skill level to catch up with their ambition. They're building internal proof and internal certainty through external execution. That's repeated over and over again. Over time, this creates leverage. Leverage is where your skills, experience, and knowledge start working for you instead of against you. At that point, increasing your level of commitment no longer becomes a risk. It actually becomes the only logical action you can take. The people who succeed long term aren't the ones who move the quickest in the beginning. They are the ones that remain in the game long enough to become dangerous. Gradual commitment keeps you in the game, and staying in the game is what allows you to win. I personally believe that going all in will transform me. I really believed if I removed every single alternate path, I would only have one path to succeed on. I would force myself to succeed. I thought that pressure would sharpen me over time, and I also thought it would remove distraction and reveal discipline. But what actually happened to me was quite the opposite. Instead of feeling focused, I actually felt really overwhelmed because every decision I was making carried an emotional weight. Every mistake felt amplified. Small setbacks that I could normally manage, but because I had no safety net to hold me up, those small setbacks started to become catastrophic because there was no margin of error that was protecting me anymore, protecting me from learning, protecting me from making mistakes. I wasn't improving from a place of stability. I was making reactions from a place of fear. I started to question myself constantly, not just my strategy, but my capability in content creation. I actually started to associate temporary failure with personal identity. I wasn't just someone whose plan didn't work out. I felt like someone who couldn't work out at all. That internal pressure actually slowed my growth, and it made me hesitant to make other moves in the future because I was scared of failure. It actually made me doubt my decisions that I would normally make under normal circumstances. What I eventually came to realize was I didn't create motivation or discipline. I'd actually created instability. And instability is one of the worst environments you can be in if you want to grow in new areas of your life. Growth requires repetition. It requires feedback. It requires psychological and emotional safety. When your mind is fully consumed in surviving because it's in survival mode, it cannot fully engage in learning. And because you cannot fully engage in learning, your growth is limited. That was the lesson that I learned that changed everything for me. Here's the solution. Replace emotional commitment with intelligent commitment. The solution isn't avoiding commitments. The solution is redefining what commitment actually means to you. And that's the most important part. What does commitment mean to you? Not anyone else. What does it mean to you? Commitment isn't measured by how much you sacrifice immediately. It's actually measured by how consistently you show up every single day over a long period of time. Intelligent commitment focuses on building capability and competence first, then increasing risk second. This means starting at a lower level where you can commit first without destabilizing your life. It means developing habits, skills, and emotional resilience to sustain progress. It also means preserving optionality. Optionality gives you flexibility. It allows you to adjust when new information appears. It allows you to learn without collapsing under pressure. People often make the mistake of removing their safety nets to prove that they're serious about something. But seriousness isn't proved by sacrifice, it's proved by consistency. Consistency builds competence, competence builds confidence, and confidence allows you to scale. Even highly successful business individuals like Jeff Bezos didn't purely rely on blind risk-taking. He validated his ideas, he built his foundations, and he increased commitment progressively over time as evidence that supported his new direction. They did not force success through pressure, they allowed their success to emerge through preparation. Here's my actionable step for the video. You need to shift your mindset from maximum action to minimum effective action. If you want to apply this skill immediately, you need to change the way you approach your goals. Instead of asking yourself, what is the most amount of work I can do right now? Ask yourself, what is the minimum effective action I can repeat every single day? Minimum effective action is simply the smallest possible win that will move you in the right direction. It's small enough to execute daily, but it's still meaningful enough to create progress. This approach accomplishes 3 critical things. First, it reduces psychological resistance. When your action feels manageable, you are so much more likely to follow through on that action. Secondly, it builds a new identity. Every completed action reinforces this new identity. It reinforces the belief that you are someone who executes their goals on a daily basis. Third, it creates momentum. Momentum isn't created by intensity. It's actually created by continuity. For an example, if your goal is to build a YouTube channel, the minimum effective action may be publishing 1 good quality video per week instead of trying to upload every single day and burning out because you're putting too much effort into it. If your goal is to build a business, the minimum effective action may be accepting 1 offer instead of quitting your job immediately. If your goal is to improve yourself physically, the minimum effective action is going to the gym 3 times a week, which is obviously performed over a longer period of time. These actions may seem very small, but their effect is compounding. Over time, small consistent wins increases your confidence, your skill level, and your trajectory. Eventually, you reach a point where increasing your level of commitment is no longer a risk take. It's the best natural step you can take. What I'm trying to get you guys to understand is instead of going all in and going 100% first, try and focus on improving 1% every single day, or less, maybe 0.5% every single day. Because consistent improvement of 1% every single day is so much easier and so much more intelligent. 1% every single day is so much easier than 100% in one day. 100% one day or 1% every single day. I don't know anyone who can go from 0 to 100 in one day, especially someone who's just starting. So focus on getting 1% better every single day and you will see better results. You will think clearer. Remember, I've just taken a few more important steps than you have in the right direction, so I'm not that far ahead of you. I've given you the ingredients. It's time for you to make the meal. Peace out, gang.